there was careful consideration. There was in-depth consideration. There was meticulous attention to detail. Where is the question of some kind of a casual, hurried exercise? And on the 3 or 4 points which it held, I would challenge anybody to tell me any cold logical reason except a biased preconceived notion as to why there is a judicial error or judicial overreach, including in the references to the President of India. First, it clearly reiterated the binding nature of what the governor receives. Second, it reiterated that on a second sending by the state, the governor loses whatever little discretion he has on the first return basis. Third, as conflict in the concurrent list or unconstitutionality is concerned when the bills first came to the governor, then how on earth, on the second reference by the state government, did he refer it to the president? Fourthly, it is laughable. A bill comes to the governor, the court has said they'll be deemed assent. The court has never said that. This is being touted in the press as if now they're all deemed assent. But if a bill from list 2 comes, and Mr. Dwivedi talked about 1 week, 2 days, 5 days. If a list 2 bill, which on the face of it is not conflicting with anything, on what basis can the governor say that 3 months is too short? And if a bill comes for the presidential assent, why can't he see it then and there and refer it to president? Nothing stops that. Now the presidential part. Obviously, in the case of the president, there is no reference to a further president. Otherwise, the article is identical for a governor and a president, which people are forgetting. People are blaming the judgment that the president's case did not fall for consideration, but an interpretation of the clauses of the governor would apply mutatis mutandis to the president. Because in terms of a bind, of course, I can tell you in a lighter vein that this will never arise in a normal central government versus president situation as far as the current government is concerned. I'd like to see that happening. But the point of the matter is that the same principle of 1 month or 3 months must apply to the president, because the textual nature of the constitution is no different at all in any manner. In fact, the Supreme Court would be inconsistent if it applied one different interpretation for the governor and a different interpretation for the president. Then, the sixth aspect, that you are laying down time limits which are not there in the constitution. Somebody should see the jurisprudence of this country in the last 20, 30, 40 years. Most of the seminal judgments have operated on the basis of laying down principles in what is called the unoccupied areas of the law, in the unoccupied interstices of the constitution and statutory law. I'll give you one striking example which all workplace persons here will know, Vishaka, sexual harassment at the workplace. Completely in the unoccupied interstices where there is no inhibition by law, where there is no constitutional inhibition, there is no restraint on the court putting something as minor as a time limit to effectuate the right, which would become remediless without that effectuation. There are innumerable other cases. Vishaka is one example. So this is again ill-informed, petty and motivated criticism.